Good morning, Unity. So glad you're all here. Look at this day we've got going. Happy Sunday. I'm ready when you are. This is a beautiful song by John Prine. Named after my mother. My old man is another. Child is grown old. Dreams were thunder. Lightning was desire. So house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me a poster of an old
How about I do it this time? I'm going to do a total rewind. I'm very excited to be here, clearly, which is a reason why I think I can just not use a microphone. So, all right, I'm going to start over. Good morning. Thank you to everyone who is here on this rainy day. It looks like maybe the sun's going to come out for a little bit. I haven't checked the weather yet, so. All right. So my name is Rebecca Cervantes, and I am your board vice president. So today, woohoo, thank you. I have to forewarn everyone, I need to wear readers, and I have forgotten my readers for 2 days in a row now when I've needed them. So I've borrowed my lovely husband's glasses, which are on the top of my head. If I can't find them, please, someone shout out there on your head. But I will be using them in a little bit just so I can read this. But all right, let's get started. Okay. I think I just turned it all off. Woo! Man. All right. So, Pet Ministry is doing a raffle basket. So, for $1, you get 1 ticket. $5, you get 6 tickets. And it's a cool Husker party basket. As you can see, Husker cups and plates, note cards, sodas, snacks, $50 Pizza Hut gift card. Hey, the season's getting ready to fire up. So, please, please, throw your name in because you want to be ready for that first game. All right. Saturday, August 22nd from 10 to 4, be here. So we have our Makers Market, Mindful Makers Market, and there are going to be a lot of really cool vendors that you don't want to miss out on. Locally made goods, energy workers, handcrafted treasures, tarot reader, artisan crafts, and a lot more. So bring in a non-perishable food item for our food pantry, and that'll get you entered for a chance to win a basket filled with vendor gifts. So that'll be really cool. Lots of surprises. Okay. Circulation Day, it's coming up. Woo! August 29th. I absolutely love Circulation Day. It's one of my most favorite times of the year. So here's what we do. Everyone brings in their new and gently used items that you no longer want, there's no longer a need for. Clear out your closets. And what we do is we all come together and we open up the church. So in the front, we'll put out everything that's been donated, and we invite our community to come and take whatever they need and want. So it's a really beautiful experience because we see lots of people being blessed, receiving the gift of our love. And I'm going to read this just because it has a lot of great information that I know I'm so excited about this, I'm forgetting. All right. So this is an opportunity to release what no longer serves you and maybe find something new that does. There are still a few time slots to fill for volunteering. Sign-ups are in the e-blast or at the cafe booth. Drop-in times are on the screen or on the flyers hanging around. If you have any plastic baggies or containers, please bring them in for people to take home their new treasures in. So that's a pretty big deal. Oftentimes, we have a lot of people taking a lot of stuff, and the little grocery sacks sometimes don't cut it. Okay, and then drop off, as you can see, August 24th through the 28th, and there are the times listed. Please sign up to help out. 5 Principles new member class is coming up. So Tuesday starting September 1st through 29th. And this is not just a new member class. It's also a refresher for anyone who might be interested in just learning about the the 5 principles again. So in person or Zoom at 11:30 a.m. and then Zoom is only at 7 p.m. So huge thank you for everyone who donated to our back to school drive. We were able to impact not only completely kids, they received some of the donations, but also Ezra Elementary. So a big thank you to everyone. And then today, please join us in celebrating the life of Lee Calvin. Lunch will be after service and the celebration will be at 1 o'clock. Everyone is welcome. And it is my pleasure to now announce Reverend Juniper Meadows. Juniper felt called to ministry early in life and began her journey through religious education and youth ministry. She later attended Meadville Lombard Theological School, earning her Master of Divinity and gaining experience as both a hospital chaplain and congregational intern. Today, Juniper serves at Second Unitarian Church of Omaha. She is a passionate spiritual leader, compassionate guide, musician, and lifelong learner who believes that questions can be a sacred part of our spiritual journey. Please join me in giving a warm unity welcome to Reverend Juniper Meadows.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Reverend Juniper Meadows. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a tall, curly-haired woman in a colorful preaching robe gifted to me by my congregation at Second Unitarian. It is so nice to see you all this morning. I'm going to move this a little bit. And just to be sure, this is the meditation section, correct? Thank you so much. I don't have an order of service or anything up here. Well, friends, a meditation can be many things, can't it? A time to ground, a time to center, a time to lessen our thoughts. But this morning I would invite you to call thoughts to mind. You might find yourself in a position that feels comfortable, your feet on the ground or crossed, your gaze softened, your eyes closed if you feel comfortable. We begin just by lightly breathing. And friends, I invite you to call to mind those people who have loved you into this moment, who have loved you into who you are today. Recall their faces, their names, the sound of their voice, people past and present, leaving all the room for the people whom have loved you into this moment who you've never met. Just a few minutes. Be these persons and names who have made you who you are, who inhabit your life and your mind and your spirit. Be as a cloud of witnesses to you always. When you feel alone or lost or in doubt or despair, remember that you were loved into this moment. So may it be. Rebecca? Or music? We're getting through it together, friends. Connection, not perfection.
And now for something completely different. That was beautiful. Thank you.
grateful to be here. Thank you all.
Wow. Amazing. That's simply the best indeed. My gosh, y'all. Man. Well, color me impressed by not just the music, but the tremendous welcome and the kind of beautiful spirit here at Unity of Omaha. I definitely recognize it from Second Unitarian and First Unitarian. We do have so much in common, friends. Similar values, similar ideas. I sure do like that I can walk away from the pulpit. Wow. I'd like to begin with an excerpt from a true luminary of insight and autonomy, one we share in common as a kind of spiritual ancestor, Ralph Waldo Emerson. This from his 1838 address to Harvard Divinity School. It's a little long. Bear with me. The facts have always suggested to humanity the sublime creed, that the world is not the product of manifold power, but of one will, of one mind, and that one mind is everywhere active in each ray of the star, in each wavelet of the pool, and whatever opposes that will is everywhere balked and baffled because things are made so and not otherwise. Good is positive, evil is merely privative, not absolute. It's like cold, which is the privation of heat. So all evil is so much death or non-entity. Benevolence is absolute and real. So much benevolence as a person hath, then so much life they have. For all things proceed out of this same spirit, which is differently named love, justice, temperance, in its different applications, just as the ocean receives different names on the several shores upon which it washes. All things proceed out of the same spirit, and all things conspire with it. Whilst a person seeks good ends, they are strong by the whole strength of nature. Insofar as a person roves from these ends, they bereave themselves of power, of auxiliaries. Their being shrinks. Out of all remote channels, they become less and less a mote, a point, until absolute badness is absolute death. The perception of this law of laws awakens in the mind a sentiment which we call the religious sentiment, and which makes our highest happiness. Wonderful is its power to charm and to command. It is a mountain air. It is the embalmer of the world. It is myrrh and storax and chlorine and rosemary. It makes the sky and the hills sublime. And the silent song of the stars is it. By it is the universe made safe and habitable, not by science or power. Thought may work cold and intransitive in things and find no end or unity, but the dawn of the sentiment of virtue on the heart gives and is the assurance that law is sovereign over all natures. And the world's times, spaces, eternities do seem to break out into joy. This sentiment is divine and deifying. It is the beatitude of humanity. It makes a person illimitable, and through it the soul first knows itself. It corrects the capital mistake of the beginner who seeks to be great by following the great and hopes to derive advantage from another by showing the fountain of all good to be in one's own self, and that a person, equally with every other person, is an inlet into the deeps of reason. When one says, I ought, when love warms them, when they choose, warmed from on high, the good and great deed, then deep melodies wander through their soul from supreme wisdom. Then they can worship and be enlarged by their worship, for they can never go behind this sentiment. In the sublimest flights of the soul, rectitude is never surmounted, and love is never outgrown. And so again, good morning. Thank you for having me. The invitation that brought me here said it is good to get to know your neighbors, to unveil some of the bonds that bind us together, to honor and better know the unique gleam of another's faith. Such a thing is a spiritual practice in our tradition of Unitarian Universalism. Indeed, we send out our youth on something of a pilgrimage to, with permission, attend the religious functions of our neighbors, to broaden our understanding and erode misconceptions and open the door for connection and mutuality. And so this for me is a tremendously special, and I am grateful to your minister and my friend Brenda and the community of Unity for helping make this happen. And we occupy adjacent areas in the mind of the average Omaha, and we sometimes show up in similar circles. Both of us get described often with the same handful of ideas, open, progressive, spiritual, sometimes and erroneously a version of that church where you can believe whatever you want. I understand that neither of our traditions are creedal. Herein is a place of kinship. Alas, people sort us together, no doubt in part because we sound alike. Perhaps I am not the only one who has had to explain the difference. It certainly doesn't help that there are Unitarian Universalist churches, are there? But sounding alike is not much for relationship. But we are neighbors, though, cousins of a kind, genealogically, in that broader family tree of faith. Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, himself drew a direct connection between the New Thought movement that underpins Unity and the New England Transcendentalist movement, particularly the work of Ralph Waldo Emerson, whose work I just read, who was himself a Unitarian minister. And Fillmore would go on to claim that Emerson was the greatest spiritual teacher America ever had. Emerson resigned his Boston pulpit in 1832 because he could no longer in good conscience or good faith serve communion to his people. And this begins his sojourn into a life of a public intellectual and an author, the proper advent of the Transcendentalist movement, which would come to touch so much of American culture. 6 years later, Emerson stood up at Harvard Divinity School to tell the graduating class what I just read, that the divine was available to them now, directly, to each and every one of them, and that historical Christianity had made a fatal error by dwelling on the personage of Jesus instead of on the soul's own direct and unbridled access to divine, transcendent mystery and wonder closer than your own breath, available now to you. We are together no strangers to such a teaching, I'm sure. And in here, again, kinship. The Harvard Divinity School Address is one of the founding documents of our tradition of Unitarian Universalism, arguably one of the headwaters of New Thought, as Emerson called the seeker to know. Again, the fountain of all good, to be in one's own self, and that a person, equally with every other person, is an inlet into the deeps of reason, the common reason, the mind and the spirit of God, heart of mystery. For all things proceed out of this same spirit, which is differently named love and justice and temperance in its different applications, just as the ocean receives different names on the several shores upon which it washes. And meanwhile, off to the east, to Second Stream, in 1805, a young theologian named Hosea Ballou published a treatise on atonement, arguably the cornerstone of American universalism and a primary theological pillar for all people of faith who would question or reject a theology of eternal damnation. Ballou, himself a Christian pastor and theologian, argued that sin is finite. The logic runs like this: if sin were infinite, it would be as large as God, and then God could not be God. A finite creature cannot commit an infinite offense, and therefore eternal punishment is not merely cruel, it is incoherent. Therefore, hell as a permanent afterlife is a logical impossibility. It is in this life, that too many people endure too many hells created for them by the powerful, material and spiritual and psychological. And as a modern tradition, Unitarian Universalism has come to proclaim love to be the center of its calling. Understood broadly as a philosophical premise, a theological pillar, a moral response, a call to action, a call to feeling. Regarding love, we also hold the values of justice and transformation, pluralism, interdependence, equity, and generosity to be necessary to meet the demands of love. And in this, they are sacred. We position them as a wheel surrounding love, as petals on a flower or planets orbiting a star. And so ours is a tradition that calls us into the world to be helpers, to be weavers of hope and makers of ways. We partly get here by the influence of the 1960s and the Civil Rights era. This had a tremendous impact on our tradition, but it persists as the most certain means by which we can realize any act of faith by leaving this world better than we found it. And if not always by grand flourishes of justice, then always by the human art of weaving relationships and tending to community. And in this practice, this common tradition, some folks have very clear understandings about God or spirit or gods plural, and some yet are clear about their atheism, and many more are open to the question without absolute answers. And all of these, and more besides, are called under the auspices of love to such a simple expression of faith. And looking at you today, it's clear that you are no strangers to such pluralism. But alas, love on its own, unguarded, becomes insufficient. It leaves the heart open to idolatry. It opens the gates for those lost to reckless cruelty, to plunder community. And so as an expression of and in defense of such love, we must move and be moved by other values to strive and build power. Consider these words of the luminary of justice and peace, Dr. Martin Luther King, from his sermon, Where Do We Go From Here? Power without love. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. Real love cannot exist outside of its relationship and its context with justice, lest it become an idol of reverence rather than a living force in the world. And real justice calls for real power met with real love, beyond mere sentiment, beyond abusive forces. A better world is possible through the practice of relationships by which power is shared and justice created and realized. The primary function of our religious community is to create spaces and opportunities for seekers to have revealed unto them the means by which they and all things are interwoven, all to one another. When we realize our relatedness, we cannot help but rally for one another as kindred hearts held in a common love, souls heading on a common destiny, on a common world that is calling upon us all, not to reject it, but to strive for true unity, one through righteous action on behalf of one another, on behalf of a higher, deeper love. Such a love is the location by which we find all people to be endowed with inherent worth and dignity. In this, we might find some similarities to the unity concept of the inherent righteousness or goodness of all people. And yet there is a distinction, right? Personally, I struggle sometimes with the idea of inherent goodness, but is the life of faith not at last a life of struggle? Struggle against the intractable finality of life, struggle against wicked powers in the world which would render other people as disposable, for the goodness and worth and love that may be at the center for all people. People who have allowed power to make monsters of themselves do demand opposition, lest love and goodness be trampled underneath a heavy foot. When legislators propose dehumanizing legislation, when grifters make their underhanded bags swindling working-class folks, when oppressive forces well up within the house of love, love places a demand upon us to answer with expressions of justice. If there is one thing that all religion has in common, or at least more or less organized religion, it must be community. People gather together on common grounds. How could we be in community if we are not free to gather so? And if our neighbor is not free, how may we be free? And so a bundle of life it is, a precious thing. Such a love demands protection and expansion. And now I'm not an expert on the theology of unity, but as I understand it, it teaches you to look within, to find the spark, the source of the genuine, a well of healing, and to locate it in the individual is a truly liberating concept, particularly when we also recognize it within our neighbors and in the spaces between us. Martin Buber, a Jewish philosopher, wrote that in the beginning is the relation, not a self that later goes out and acquires relationships. No, the relation comes first. The self precipitates from there, flows from a common spirit. And Alfred North Whitehead, that's a mathematician who found his way into metaphysics, nonetheless describes a universe made not of stable things, but rather events, discrete happenings, each one arising by gathering up everything that came before it. And nothing then runs on its own. To exist is to be constituted by what you are related to, in the past, and in the present, and in the future. South Africans have a word for this, Ubuntu, popularized in the West by luminaries like Archbishop Desmond Tutu, meaning to exist in a bundle of life. Ubuntu, a person is a person through other persons, and the Buddhist traditions would call it something like dependent origination. I am me because you are you. So many words for the same or similar ideas. And your second principle says the Spirit of God lives within each person. I believe that. Believe it or not, I reckon most you use, even the atheists amongst us, would find resonance in such a value. The God also lives in the connection, in the space between you and whoever is sitting beside you right now. If God is present everywhere, then God is present there. In the interstices, the spaces of connection, the lines dividing begin to blur. The tension is distinction between self and other, subject and subject. This is the place of magic, the location of action. Surely nothing interesting in this cosmos has ever occurred outside the context of a relationship, especially one with room for things to happen. From hydrogen fusing into helium in the heart of a star to the distinct relationships between a body's parts that allow homeostasis to a lover's first kiss, relationality begets the new. And it would seem to me, at least, that relationship precedes all action and all life and all love. We might call such a perspective relational ontology, that our being is contingent on the happenings of a relationship. That said, if we are made out of relations, does that mean we are automatically loving? No, obviously, catastrophically not. Everyone in this room, arguably this world, is connected to somebody they have failed to love or who has failed to love them. Family is the proof, ain't it? Family is relational ontology in its most salient form. People constituted by each other right down to the bone, and family is also where so much of the common cruelty and common beauty and most human lives can take place. Connection does not manufacture love. Connection opens the possibility of love and the possibility of harm. It does not choose between them for us. Indeed, love is not easy. Love can certainly hurt sometimes. Love grapples with difference. It changes and expands, and when it finds ground upon which to relate, but this is not done by smothering over our differences, but by seeding itself in context where true pluralism can arise across the challenge, in spite of the challenge, and grow for the challenge. Real love holds the differences between us, and within such room does the Spirit find purchase to move and to breathe and become. The raw stuff, the living fire of community cannot breathe in a sea of sameness. As my mama would say, it takes all kinds. My congregation, like your congregation, does not require strict certain kinds of beliefs in God. A good number of our folks are atheists, more agnostic, and there are Christians and Buddhists and pagans besides. I understand unity harbors a similar appreciation for pluralism. We are not the same, and sameness is not the goal. Relationality is the goal, the grounds tended by which something new may grow. So broadly speaking, I'm sure you are aware, this country has currently forgotten how to do such a thing. I'm not talking about simple tolerance. That's just proximity, like standing in line at a grocery store. I mean the actual practice of remaining in relationships with people whose account of reality differ from our own. And indeed, sometimes it is impossible. How could I be in relationship with one hell-bent on harming myself or one that I love? But whensoever we are able to hold that ground between difference is to hold a kind of holy ground, a place of transformation and becoming. We all must find our own way to engage and deepen with this work. One means by which the congregation I serve has found to engage is by moving into coalition. Our folks rally with all manner of other religious organizations, from St. Pius to Urban Abbey, under the auspices of Omaha Together One Community, in order to move the issues we mutually care about. Now, granted, we can't do everything. We can't, for example, work on equitable access to reproductive health care, given our proximity to our Catholic friends, but we can find common ground besides, all the same. Paid sick leave, for example. The banishment of payday lenders from Nebraska, for example. These are issues OTOC and by that connection members of Second Unitarian have worked on. And it is certainly never easy. We will not always agree. But beloved community is paved brick by brick. And by being at the table together across our differences, such divides prove less intractable. The contours and particulars of our humanity revealed more clearly, such as the transforming power of coalition, a means by which we may live such values of togetherness, of realizing such a love as might be held at the core of a faith, at the heart of a person. Perhaps I've been all over the place with the sermon. Suffice to say, Unitarian Universalism, if it were to be summarized in this year, it is simply this. It is love at the center. Love as God, love as spirit, love as calling, love as love just on its own as a feeling, love as a vocation you take up again and again, even when you don't feel like it, even when it feels undeserved, when the sweetness has gone, when we fall and fail and take the hand back up to make amends and try again in love. You and we and all people indeed are children of this planet, this cosmos, a child of love made who you are by the people who have loved you into this moment, grounding you in relationship. What you inherit, what we all inherit, is the work, the shared labor of building beloved community across and empowered by lines of difference. By such work do we become a crossing point by which a greater love, one shared by all who would be helpers on the journey of life, the one that has made and sustained us, finds expression. The call to care, the call to share, the call to defend and to get back up again, the call to love like it were the first and the last word. So may the spirit of love and the love of spirit lead us to a deeper love for our neighbor and for ourselves. May such love lead us into the liberating work of breaking chains and opening minds, serving as beacons in this age of instability as we guide one another home into that house of beloved community where we may all abide in love even as our differences are honored. New friends, may you be well, may you be happy, and may you ever remember how tremendously special and absolutely singular that you are. There has never been anyone like you and never will be again, and you are a crucial piece of the tapestry of humanity. May you remember how much you belong to this world and the people and animals and love in your life. We are not our own alone. May you be brave enough to allow yourself to be loved, and bold enough to love this world, even when it's hard to love. So may it be. Clap.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Hey, how y'all doing? All right, as it says on the board, support Unity of Omaha. Please give your walk of abundance, your tithes, your offering, your love, whatever it look like. We'll take it all. All right, now moving on. Hold on one second. Don't judge me. All right, Walk of Abundance. So we're getting ready to play this tune that everybody know. Anybody know I'll Be Around? Anybody heard that song before, the Motown? All right, we finna jam out as y'all come and bring y'all coins. All right? All right, here we go. Hit it. Y'all put your hands together for me real quick, real smooth line. This is our fork in the road. Love's last episode. There's nowhere to go. No, no. You made your choice. Now it's up to me. Bow out gracefully. Though you hold the key. Baby, whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Do just what you say. Now I found out today that all the words slipped away. But I know there's a spark to remain. I'll find out today that love can burn once again. Baby, whenever you call me, say, whenever you want me, whenever you need me, come on, I'll be around. Come on, man, bring it in, come on, give it to me. Do that again, y'all sound good. Give it up, put your hands together like this. Whenever you call me, whenever you want me, whenever you need me, I'll be around. Yeah. Come on, y'all. Whenever you call me, whenever you want me, whenever you need me, yeah, I'll be around.
Thank you. All right, Unity, please join me in the prayer for affirmation or transformation. My goodness. Okay. The light of God is in me. The love of God moves through me. The power of God transforms me. And the presence of God is who I am. Wherever I go, God is, and all is well. All right, thank you, Unity. Have a wonderful day.
in the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. Folks get down in the sunshine. Sunshine. Almost there. Folks get brown in the sunshine. To the top. My life in the sunshine, yeah. Everybody loves the sunshine, yeah. Sunshine, yeah, yeah. Folks get down in the sunshine. There's bees and things and flowers. Just bees and things and flowers. Bees and things and flowers. Just bees and things and flowers. My life, my life, my life, my life, my life. Stay there, yeah. My life, my life, my life, my life, my life. My life, my life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine. My life, my life, my life, my life, my life. Feel what I feel, what I feel when I feel, when I feel it, I feel it in the sunshine. Stay there, stay there. Feel what I feel when I feel, when I feel, when I feel it, I feel it in the sunshine. Do what I gotta do, and I gotta do it. Do what I gotta do, when I gotta do it. Break it down for Bluey. Break it down.